Homeopathy, what we say is, things always start off mild and then they can progress. This is where the miasms will start to form. Usually we start off in a more basic miasm and we go to a more chronic, like a tuberculinic miasm, which is the cancer or the cancer miasm, sorry, which is the most threatening for us if we're like leaving ourselves in these toxic and diseased states. So I'll be posting more of that to the blog post soon. But how do we start? So take something in your childhood, which we are told is perfectly normal and everybody has to have it, is acne. I don't think I know any teenager for the most part who hasn't either had acne or some kind of like IBS type symptoms. I know so many of my friends growing up were always like, my stomach hurts. And it was just a normal thing. It's just like, oh, so does mine. Or I have acne or super painful periods, horribly painful periods. And we would just be like, yeah, that's normal. We all do. It's just part of womanhood. And we have these chronic or even younger than that. Sorry, let's even back up. Let's start in our early years or months of life. Chronic ear infections. These are, I don't think I know any child. I think I can say this for the most part. I don't think I know any child except for maybe 10 that do not have chronic recurring ear infections. Within my family, within friends, within my clients, recurring ear infections or eczema as a baby or, cradle cap, thrush. So let's go right back to the start. If we start having these symptoms, and again, because they're common, everybody sees them as normal. They're not normal. And these are what I mean, where symptoms will start off mild. Thrush, that's mild. Chronic ear infection, still mild. Acne as a teenager or really painful periods, more serious, but still mild. But as you see, if these dysbiosis or inflammations left unchecked, it progresses into our teen years and affects us hormonally. Now, girls are having crazy mood swings and irritability and major bloating and all kinds of symptoms, PCOS, ovarian cysts forming. And from there, that degeneration process continues. And now we're having infertility in our, early 20s and everybody's needing in vitro. Like I have not seen more people lately needing, and this is heartbreaking, and I'm saying this with like the most sadness, but I have not seen in my entire life more people needing in vitro fertilization or some kind of intervention to achieve pregnancy than now. And it makes you wonder, well, why is this happening? It's because of the toxicity of the world and it's not being addressed. So it's simmering in our body, starting off in our childhood again with mild symptoms of ear infection or eczema or some kind of acne, progressing into our early years. And I'm talking about females, but this applies to men as well. Early years, you start getting your period and our periods are first of all coming either super late or super early from estrogen toxicity or estrogen deficiency. And that's, already a problem there. And then it's painful. And we're like, oh, that's fine still. We leave it. Or we'll get on birth control to suppress the symptoms. They go deeper into the body and are now affecting our actual cells. And now we have degeneration. Our bodies, our eggs are degenerating. Our ovaries are degenerating early. We're not having, frequent ovulation anymore. Now we're infertile. And this is already like, you take that from something in childhood, no one will tell you there's a connection. No one's going to say this is, because of something that we didn't fix early on in the early years. It's of course not going to happen because no one believes that. But this is true. It's kind of like that progression of disease. And then from there, you go into your later years and all of a sudden now you have some kind of like high blood pressure or low blood pressure, you have diabetes or autoimmune or lupus or something more serious. And again, it's still suppressed. Take an injection, take a steroid, suppress it. And then you go through more of your life and all of a sudden you have either major heart disease or major atherosclerosis, high cholesterol, extreme adrenal issues, maybe insane menopausal symptoms, or you're in menopause early. And then from there, it's still normal, still suppressed, and now maybe cancer, and God forbid, but that is kind of like the next step where the disease is just your body's toxic, it's inflamed, it's deficient, nothing's been done for it. And now your body's like, I'm done. I have no immune surveillance left. Our immune system shut down, our adrenals are shut down, our hormones are out of balance. We have no nutrition or antioxidant status left. We're overrun with dysbiosis. Of course, cancer is the next step. And this is also to me why we are so prevalent with cancer. I've seen certain stats in certain parts of the world where 1 in 2 people will develop cancer. In other parts, it's 1 in 4. This is still a crazy statistic that in a room of my family members, maybe half of us or a third of us are going to be dying of cancer. It's mind blowing and it should not be accepted, but it is because it's common. Everybody's getting it, so it's okay. It's normal, part of aging, part of the aging process. Ride with it. We get cancer, we